أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا حبيبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا أما بعد قال الله تبارك وتعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. My dear brothers and sisters, I've recited from Surah 30, verse number 21. The meaning of this verse is very important for us every day, but more today than ever before. A couple of days ago, in the Conservative Party conference, Theresa May made an announcement, and that is people who don't want to get married, they can have civil partnership. And civil partnership and marriage will be equal, whether it is civil partnership between heterosexual couple or homosexual couple. My brothers and sisters, I believe the institution of marriage is under threat. It is being eroded away, systematically dismantled. Slowly but surely, any remnants of marriage will be totally destroyed from our society. Those who are celebrating the civil partnership instead of marriage are saying, well, this is a secular alternative. Well, it is a secular alternative, yes, I understand. But why erode the institution of marriage in that process? Marriage provides the most important bedrock for any society to build, for any civilization to emerge, for children to grow in a safe, sound, and a wholesome space. Seeing two parents present, providing them love and comfort, safety and security, form the most important principles for any child growing up in a chaotic world that we witness in front of us today. In this unfolding chaos, marriage is more important than ever before. If somebody says marriage is outdated, marriage is no longer relevant, they are talking nonsense. Marriage is more needed today than ever before, because marriage is the only way two people can come together from very different backgrounds and agree to live together, agree to be bound together by a contract, a mutual contract, bound together by responsibilities and duties, not only to enjoy each other's company, but to also provide a space for future generations to grow and for humanity's continuity. The world would come to an end if we did not have children. Human race would cease to exist if we stopped having children. So it is our existential threat, as far as I'm concerned, for those who are tinkering around the institution of marriage. They are threatening our existence. In fact, the existence of the entire human race. So I have chosen to talk about marriage today, to give a different definition of marriage, not just for you, the Muslims in my presence here in this masjid, but for anyone else who wishes to learn about marriage or what marriage is all about. In this verse, Allah very beautifully outlines both the purpose of marriage, ingredients of marriage, and the continuity of marriage. He says, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ, and amongst his signs, أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. Amongst his signs is that he has created you. أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ, he has created you. مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا, for you, a partner from amongst yourselves. In this particular part of the verse lies two most important principles of a successful marriage. The first one is to recognize Allah in His divine wisdom. He has created you and I. It is part of His bigger fashion and design that He has created man and woman in opposite gender rather than the same. It is part of Allah's divine design that He has given the right to procreation to human beings. His right to create has been delegated to you and I, human beings, as an aman, as a trust. Recognizing that as the most important part of Islamic marriage. That Allah's creation is you, and it is part of Allah's design that He has created somebody opposite to you who will become your partner. And خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. Somebody from amongst yourselves, like a human being. So the second principle of Islamic marriage is that you accept your partner, your wife, your husband, as equal to you. My brothers and sisters, the concept of equal partnership isn't understood by many people. Many people think, oh, I'm married, my wife is my servant. She will cook for me, she will clean for me, she'll iron my clothes, she'll bring up my children, she'll be the maid in the house, she'll look after my parents, she'll clean up my garden, she'll clean up my car, she will look after my bank, she'll be my secretary, she'll answer my phone, she will pick up the mess that I make in the world, she will do everything that I have failed in doing. My brothers and sisters, especially to my brothers, I want you to wake up and smell the coffee. That is not a wife. And your wife is not your servant. Allah says, هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ. They're your garment and you're their garment. Allah did not just say they're your garment and therefore wear, use and drop them anywhere you like. He didn't say that. He said, you are also their garment. وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ. Women are garment unto men and men are garment unto women. A co-partnership. Garment is something that I wear. It intertwines my body. It knows me very well. So the partnership of two equals. In the eyes of Allah, you're equal as His servant. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah has created human beings and jinn. And when Allah says human beings, He means man and woman. My brothers and sisters, if you want more evidence of the Quranic paradigm of what is equality, then look at this verse. Allah says, إِنَّ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَالْمُسْلِمَاتِ وَالْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ وَالْقَانِتِينَ وَالْقَانِتَاتِ وَالصَّادِقِينَ وَالصَّادِقَاتِ وَالصَّابِرِينَ وَالصَّابِرَاتِ وَالْخَاشِعِينَ وَالْخَاشِعَاتِ وَالْمُتَصَدِّقِينَ وَالْمُتَصَدِّقَاتِ وَالصَّائِمِينَ وَالصَّائِمَاتِ وَالْحَافِظِينَ فُرُوجَهُمْ وَالْحَافِظَاتِ وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ أعد الله لهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما. Allahu Akbar. Allah uses the male and the female in the same verse continuously to describing your and my successful qualities. He says, Al-mu'minuna wal-mu'minat. The Muslim men and the Muslim women. So believing man and believing woman. Al-mu'minuna wal-mu'min. Al-muslimuna wal-muslimat. Wal-mu'minuna wal-mu'minat. The believing man and believing woman. Then he says, Al-qanitina wal-qanitat. The devout man and the devout woman. Was-sadiqina was-sadiqat. The charitable man and charitable woman. Wal-khashi'ina wal-khashi'at. The humble man and the humble woman. In every category of success, Allah twins the man and woman continuously. So Islamic marriage is recognizing that your wife and your husband are equal in the eyes of Allah, and you have an equal stake in marriage. One is not superior to the other. One is not the boss. I remember a brother came home and said to his wife, I am the Khalifa of this family, and therefore you must follow me. And when she said no, he came and complained to the Imam saying, yeah, Imam, I don't understand what's wrong with our wives. They don't behave like Aisha and Khadija radiallahu anhuma. They behave terribly badly today. So the Imam turned around and said to the man, yes, Aisha and Khadija were married to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you're not the Prophet of Allah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so don't expect that from your wife either. If you can become like Abu Bakr, if you can become like Umar al-Khattab or Uthman ibn Affan, even, you know what, forget about that. If you can emulate the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he is the one you should be emulating, nobody else. Remember, ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul. If you emulate the Prophet, then you deserve to be listened to. You deserve to be given the title. But if you don't follow Allah and His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then conveniently use Quranic ayah to justify your twisted mind and your bad behavior, Wallahi, your wife will not listen to you. I know too many brothers who do everything terrible and then they expect their wife to be the best. Allahu Akbar. It doesn't work like that, my brothers and sisters. It's a partnership between man and woman. A complementary partnership between man and woman. That's why I use the words of Allah. Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahunna. They're your garment and you're their garment. Does your garment compete with you? No. Garment is complementary to your body. It covers you. It makes you look beautiful, presentable, handsome. Allahu Akbar. Allah has given you beauty already. But a garment, external piece of clothing put on your body makes you presentable. This is what a marriage is. You and your wife together, you are complementary, not competitors. You beautify one another, not make ugly out of each other. You support one another, not destroy one another. You are servants of Allah, equal. That's the second principle of Islamic marriage. The third principle of Islamic marriage, my brothers and sisters, Allah says, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, so that you can live with them in tranquility. Let me retranslate that. In fact, that is not the correct translation either. It's the easy translation, but it's not the correct translation. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا means, according to some translation, the man will live with the woman in peace and tranquility. So the responsibility of making a house peaceful and tranquil lies on the woman. Automatically, that's what men think. But you misunderstand the verse of the Quran. Allah is talking about لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. You will live in marriage, and the Arabic word for marriage is feminine. Not the wife. The Arabic word for marriage is feminine. You live with her in marriage, together in tranquility. The responsibility of making your home tranquil isn't your wife's. It's together, yours and your wife's, not just one person's. Otherwise, it's not a marriage. My brothers and sisters, the purpose of marriage is to create a safe space. What is a safe space? Safe space is where you can grow. You can grow together. You can grow independently. You can grow spiritually, become closer to Allah together. You can grow emotionally, connect with one another. In a marriage, it's not just your bodies that come together. It's your hearts that come together. You share every day of your life. You wake up with the same person every morning. When you look at your wife and when she looks at you, and if we look at one another, and if there is nothing in your heart that says, Allahu Akbar, I'm so grateful to Allah, I'm married to my husband or my wife, there is something wrong in your marriage. This is what it means. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. You live in marriage with him or her in tranquility and peace, in safety and security. You create that safe space. You invest in that safe space. You give your time, the quality time, to nurture a healthy relationship in a marriage. Otherwise, a marriage, a home, will be a troublesome home, a terrible home for you to return. My brothers and sisters, don't put burden on one of the partners in a marriage. It's both man and woman are responsible for keeping a marriage going, not one of them. Creating a safe space. So that the children can grow up in a space where they feel safe, not being beaten up, not being shouted at, not being abused. Children are nurtured, their fitrah is developed, they're loved, they feel secure, they're safeguarded. This is called لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. You create a marital space where you and your wife and your children and your in-laws and your brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and uncles and aunties and your neighbors all will benefit from this amazing home that you've created. Allahu Akbar. If each and every house was sakina, a safe space, every neighborhood would be good. Every neighborhood would be good. My brothers and sisters, the purpose of marriage is to create sakina, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. In that place, you live in happiness and tranquility, peace and security. So now, Allah says in the Quran, firstly, you recognize that Allah has made you. Secondly, you recognize that your partner is like you. The third thing you create is a safe space. Then Allah says, now it is Allah's responsibility. He takes it away from you now. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ. Allah says, so that Allah is saying, I can put between the two of them. Allah. You've done your duty. You've created the safe space. Now Allah says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ. If you create the right space, the safe space, the secure space, Allah will put between the two of you what? مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Mawadda is the Arabic word which comes from Arabic word al-wad. Wad is the origin of al-wadud. What does al-wadud mean? The source of all love. And Allah's name is al-wadud. We have many names called Abdul Wadud. We ask Allah's 99 names when we read them. One of them is al-wadud. Allah is saying, I am al-wadud. Wad comes from me. Love comes from me. If you create the right space, I will put between the two of you part of my love, al-wadud's love, in that marriage. Allahu Akbar. My brothers and sisters, if Allah puts love in a marriage, who's going to break that love? The problem is, you and I don't create the right space, and we don't get the love that we want. We don't get the love that we want because we don't even understand what it means. Some of us wait in our homes, waiting for love to fall from the heavens. Wallahi, complete misunderstanding. Love is when you work for it. Love is when you serve your partner, offering your wife a cup of tea, offering your wife maybe breakfast some mornings, giving her a break from all the chores that she does every day, cooking, cleaning, running behind children, maybe saying to her, go, take a break. That's love. When she offers you a cup of tea, if you don't drink tea, maybe something else. When she sits with you and she gives you some time, when you sit together and spend time together talking, or just silently reading 2 books, or maybe staring at your garden, looking at the flowers, or maybe watching a program together, or maybe going out for a walk together, holding hands. Astaghfirullah, brother, holding hands with my wife in public? No, it's not astaghfirullah. Say Alhamdulillah, Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to hold his wife's hand when he's walking in public. It is the sunnah of Rasulullah. Some of us feel very shy. Well, my brothers and sisters, if you don't hold your wife's hand, what's going to happen? She will be longing to be holding someone's hand. What if you hold someone else's hand who is not halal for you? Of course you're going to get sin for it. Brothers and sisters, love is all of that and more. So Allah says, if you create the right space, He will put mawadda, love, wa rahmah, and mercy. Mercy is Allah's name again, Ar-Rahman. Raham is the name of the mother's womb. And the similarity Allah has chosen between the two because of purpose. Human beings are born in the mother's womb. It needs all forms of raham in that. And Allah says Allah will put between the two mawaddat and rahmah. My brothers and sisters, love alone is not going to be able to make a marriage work. For those romantics in this room, for those young ones who are waiting for falling in love, I've got bad news for you. Love will not keep your marriage going. You need a lot of mercy. Love and mercy together will make a marriage work. I can tell you now, if it wasn't for the mercy of my wife, she would have left me a long time ago. Love alone is not going to keep anything going. You need it together, love and mercy, 2 sides of the same coin. So the 4th principle of Islamic marriage is to invest time in order to receive love and mercy from Allah and work with it so that you can nurture and make your relationship stronger and stronger and stronger. Prophet ﷺ was with Aisha radiallahu anha, and he said, "Oh Aisha, I know when you are angry with me, and I know when you are upset with me, and when you are happy with me." Prophet ﷺ, Aisha said, "How do you know? How do you know?" Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh Aisha, when you are angry with me, you swear in the name of the Lord of Ibrahim. And when you are happy with me, you swear in the name of the Lord of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Prophet ﷺ would pick up the glass where Aisha has drunk water from, and he would look for her lip mark on the glass, and he would put his lip on the specific place where Aisha drank from, and then he would drink the water, showing his love for her. Not only just love, but affection, tenderness, the mawadda and rahmah together for Aisha radiallahu anha. My brothers and sisters, marital relationship, creating loving and a merciful space requires investment, time. It just doesn't come because she served food for you. It doesn't come like that. You're rude to her and then you expect her to serve you good food. You're rude to her, you swear at her, you abuse her verbally, and then you expect her to be kind to you. How is that possible? Marital space is litaskunu ilayha. You live with her in safety and tranquility. What kind of safety do you give to your wife or your husband when your mouth is like a uncontrolled mouth? I call it verbal diarrhea you suffer from. When it opens, it never closes. You talk from your mouth, anything that comes out. A sister called me up the other day and said, brother, can you please help me? Why, what's happened? My husband has divorced me. What did he say to you? I give you a divorce, I give you talaq, I give you talaq, I give you 100 talaq, and then he said, I also divorce your mother. He was so angry. So I called him, I said, why did you say that? He goes, I was angry. I said, but why would you say that you're divorcing your mother-in-law out of anger? Have you lost every marble in your head? He goes, yes, I have. What is wrong with you, brothers, that you behave worse than animals sometimes just because you're angry? لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. You want love and mercy? Create the right space. The safe space. You don't create the right and the safe space, forget about love and mercy from your wife. My sisters, the same applies to you. You do something, create the right space, love and mercy will come from your husband too. It is an equal partnership between the two. And when you do your bit, which is to create the right space, Allah will put between you love and mercy. Allah will put between you love and mercy. So control your mouth when you speak to your wife or your husband. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Communicate well. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. الله أكبر. Allah says, all those who believe, when you speak with one another, speak with the intention to bring the best out of the other person, especially of your wife or your husband. Speak with them nicely and kindly so that they will say the best thing in return. You say to somebody, you look beautiful. Of course you'll get nice return. You say to somebody, you look ugly. You see what you get in return. Brothers and sisters, marriage is a space to invest, not expect the mountains. You give and you get something in return, but don't expect it in return. You give, you give, you give. And when you give the right space, Allah will give you وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah says that in the Quran. May Allah strengthen our marriage. May Allah make our marriages successful. And may Allah fill our marriages with love and mercy and abundance. وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا and alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. My brothers and sisters, Allah in the Quran says, هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ. They're your garment and you're their garment. I want you to think about garment for a minute. When you came to this message today, did you wear the worst garment in your cupboard? No, you didn't. You looked for the cleanest one. This nice, fragrant one. The one which is washed. If it's washed, you looked if it's ironed. You thought to yourself, am I going to look good? Inshallah, I'll look good, I'll wear this. You wear a piece of garment that will cover you from the weather, protect you from the elements of the weather. If it's too cold, if it's too hot, you put the right clothing on. You wear clothing that fits you comfortably. You wear clothing that complements your character. You wear clothing that hides your nakedness and shame from the world. You wear clothing that you feel intimate with and close to. Your clothing knows every part of your body, every inch of your skin. Nothing is unknown to your clothes. Even the smell that you don't want the world to know, your garment knows. Allah Azza wa Jal uses هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ, the analogy of garment in marriage for a reason. When you live with your wife or your husband, when you're married, you will get to know one another like the garment does. You'll know the texture of the skin. You would know where and which patch on your body, on her body, on his body is dry. You would know. Which patch has got a small spot, you would know. Allahu Akbar, what an intimate relationship of the two opposites. Allah wants you to invest in this relationship together like a garment. Value one another, cherish one another, get to know each other, spend time in finding out about the other, look and take care of the other just like you would like to be taken care of. Protect the other person just like you'd like to be protected. Confide in each other and protect the confidentiality. Don't expose your wife or your husband to the world. Like the garment, be close, because you are partners in this journey. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. In there are signs for those who reflect. The final principle of Islamic marriage, my brothers and sisters, the fifth one is reflection, evaluation. Asking your wife or your husband, am I doing it right? Can I change? Can we improve? Things are not working. Many people come and complain to me saying, brother, my marriage is boring. I'm bored stiff. I don't know what to do in my marriage. I'm not very happy. I ask them, why are you unhappy? Why are you bored? Is it because you have never asked your wife or your husband, can I do things differently? Evaluate your marriage. Do an MOT on your marriage on a yearly basis, just like you do MOT on your car. Is everything working? Let me tick, tick, tick. Oh, it doesn't work, can I change? What do? Throw your car in the dustbin if it's just MOT failed? No. You invest money in it. Allah has given a human being for you as your partner. If you're going to be together, regularly checking, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. People who think and reflect are the only ones who can benefit from the ayah of Allah Azza wa Jalla. If you don't think and reflect, if you don't evaluate, you're in trouble. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu was in his house. A man came to complain saying his wife is causing trouble. Came to his house, Umar ibn Khattab was inside, the man didn't knock on the door, left. He didn't even say anything. Umar saw this, he came out running saying, why did you come to my house and didn't even say anything? The man said, yeah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, I came to complain about my wife. She's shouting at me, she's screaming at me, and I'm very upset about it. But when I came to your house, I heard your wife shouting at you. I've got my answer, I'm going home. He evaluated his marriage. He understood that as a human being, everybody has the right to be able to sometimes get angry and upset, but as long as they know how to reconcile, as long as they know how to mend their relationship, as long as they remain civil, as long as they're not abusive, as long as they're respectful, it's okay to ask your partner and tell your partner, things are not working out, can we please change? Evaluate, evaluate, evaluate. For those of you who are not married, hurry up. Marriage is an amazing place for you to invest and build a life. Alhamdulillah, nearly 20 years of my marriage now. I can tell you, I love my wife more every day, alhamdulillah. I hope she does the same in return. I hope and I pray that I am able to create a space that is good for her, good for me. Together we can create a space for our children too. I hope and I pray you do the same. You grow together so that in Jannah, one old man came to the masjid. His wife said to him, old man, you've never been to a masjid for a long time. I love you dearly, and I love you more than you can imagine. You don't pray, but I pray. I'm going to go to Jannah, but you're going to be in hell. I would love to be in Jannah with you. Please go to the masjid. Pray and ask Allah to forgive you, and I'll make dua for you. He said, those words made me come to the masjid, and I've never missed a prayer ever since. It's called true love. When you love your partner, you do everything possible so that together you can be happy. Happiness comes from Allah and comes from your hard work. We make dua, Allah makes us happy, say Ameen. Ameen. We make dua that Allah frees the humanity from misery and unhappiness, say Ameen. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akramin. Give us the mawaddah and rahmah that we deserve, Ya Allah. Fill our marriages with mawaddah and rahmah, Ya Allah. Strengthen us so that we can create sakina in our marriages, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, give us the strength to be able to evaluate our marriages, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, protect ourselves from the evil of shaitan and the whispers of ourselves, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, protect our families, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, increase our iman, the iman of our wives and our husbands, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, protect our children, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, instill the value of marriage in this society again, Ya Allah. Return the society to marriage again, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, restore marriage as the most valuable institution for any society, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akramin. Free Al-Aqsa from occupation, Ya Allah. Free Iraq from the fitna, Ya Allah. Free Syria from the tyrants, Ya Allah. Free Yemen from the troubles, Ya Allah. Free Kashmir from occupation, Ya Allah. Free every part of the world that is in trouble, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akramin. Remove the despots from all parts of the world, Ya Allah. Remove the dictators from all parts of the world, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, free humanity, Ya Allah. Free humanity, Ya Allah. Free humanity, Ya Allah. اللهم أنت السلام منك السلام تباركت ربنا وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون والله يعلم ما تصنعون أقم الصلاة